What is going on, guys? Today we are back with another video. Starting out on the truck, little bit of a road trip today. I'm obviously driving. Mitchell is in the passenger seat right now. He's the wingman for today, filming this little video for you guys. And we're headed a few hours south to pick up a new fishing tool, a vessel of work, you might call it. And yeah, it should be kind of an exciting day. You guys probably know what this video is about. You guys saw the thumbnail. Let's not kid ourselves right now, really. We're going to pick up a boat, and I'm very excited about this day, and I've been looking forward to it for a while. If you guys follow this channel, you guys probably know, if you guys are like one of those weird hardo followers, right? They probably know that last year I fished out of Mitch's boat a lot. Mitch has a Mercury on his boat, as many of you guys pointed out. It's this weird ongoing thing. Is Tom in Mitch's boat? Is Mitch's in Tom's boat? Whose boat is this boat? Wasn't it? It was insane. It was absolute insanity. But today we're here to set the record straight. And but yeah, last year we did do a lot of fishing in Mitch's boat. I got in a crazy car accident, got hit by another driver on the road, and was put in a tough situation to get another boat last year. But we're here to rectify that today. So I'm very excited about today. Going to pick up the new vessel of work and vessel of exploration today. So stay tuned. We got a few hour ride south, and we'll see you guys in a little bit, I guess.
Get the road.
Just the road? You want to talk or not?
You can pan it over to me. You got a green light here. We're gonna go ahead.
There's the road. There's the green light. All right, folks. We have traversed several hours south of good old northern Wisconsin, and we are down here in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, home of Leinekugels, Mitchell. Did you know that? Is that true?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that true?
I think so.
Chippewa Falls Leinekugels
I don't
beer.
drink Leinekugels though.
A lot of good things down here in Chippewa Falls. One of those being the boat center down here in Chippewa Falls. Been very impressed with this place over the several times I've been down here now. And we're almost there. And we're gonna go inside. We're gonna give you guys a little tour. We're gonna check out the new vessel of work and give you guys the rundown. But boat center, Chippewa Falls. I've been very impressed with this place so far.
Right, then turn left.
It's a lot. You want, when you're a fisherman and you spend every day in the boat, you want to be talking to people, you want to be working with people who are also very much fishing minded, like we are.
Right,
and that means a lot to me. And these dudes here are 100% that way. They are fishermen, they sell fishing boats, and they rig boats for fishermen. So here we are. Maybe get a nice little plan of this. There's lots of boats around. There's still lots of snow on the ground, but we're here. Let's go inside. What do you think? Let's go. The day has finally arrived, Mitchell. We're standing in front of my new fishing vessel for this season. The big boy, the Warrior 2090 tiller, the king of all tiller boats. If you guys have watched this channel for a while, you know I love fishing out of tiller boats. Now, my job now is essentially to drive all around the country and chase walleyes on big water, on small water, on huge river systems, on the Great Lakes. And when I started going to all these big places, every time I would wake up the day I'd have to go, I'd have to look at the wind, have to look if I could fish. Now I wanted a boat that made my job a lot easier, where I could go to a lot of these big places and fish in some big water. And if you're gonna stay in a tiller, and if you're a tiller guy at heart, like I am, a hardcore walleye tiller fisherman, there's really only one option, and luckily that's the best option, the Warrior 2090. So we're down here at the boat center down here in Chippewa Falls, and they rigged this boat up and did a phenomenal job with all my electronics. These guys are fishermen. This is not these guys' first rodeo with putting an absolute mountain of transducers, live transducers, 360 transducers, trolling motor transducers, all the transducers and a whole bunch of graphs in a boat. There's a lot of places you're gonna go where you almost feel like you're walking those guys through the process. Here, these guys are fishermen. This is not their first rodeo, loading up a boat with graphs. But let's just take a second and marvel in the beauty of this boat. Unbelievable, dude, for a tiller boat, that it can be, number one, just this gorgeous, and number two, just designed for big water like these are. Now, there's a ton of features to this boat, which you guys have probably not seen, that you're never gonna see in a lot of other tiller boats, and we're not gonna be able to cover every single one of those today. But in the last several months of talking with guys at Warrior, talking with dudes who have owned Warrior, talking with guys down here at the boat center, this boat company, Warrior, pretty much everything I've ever heard about it, the fit and finish, how unbelievably well they're built, you take one little walk through this boat and you believe every word of it. These boats are definitely in an absolute class of their own. Warrior boats, phenomenal boats. We just looked at a giant like 238 out back, didn't we? Like the mother of all motherships. Unbelievable boat. And then you look at this, you know, the regular 2090, phenomenal. So it's obviously a 20-foot tiller. So I'm gonna jump inside real quick and kind of show you guys what we got going on here. And Mitchell, maybe you want to jump in here too. Are we looking good? How do I look back here? Small. Do I look happy? Small. Small and happy? So here we are. Now, obviously, when you buy a tiller boat, this is what you're going after right here. You're going after everything right at the tips of your fingertips. So we have 3 Humminbird Helix 10s back here, all set up on kind of swing arms to keep them all nice and organized and super stable. But these are the bad boys. One of these is mainly going to be used for live and 360. One of these is going to be used for a lot of mapping stuff. The other one's going to be used for my side imaging, down imaging, and sonar. Now, you might say, Tom, 3 graphs is a lot. Well, one reason I like having 3 graphs is a lot of times for filming, so that we can film a live unit, we can film a side imaging unit, we can film the GPS. So a lot of what's going on?
Nothing 3, there's 4.
There is 4. Mitchell was giving me a look for a second there, like the camera was messing up. But one of the reasons I like having a lot of graphs is so we can kind of designate one to film it for guys on YouTube or the Walleye Now app or things like that. But we also have another graph which is up at the front. We might get kind of color distorted here as Mitch changes angles, but we have another 10 up at the front. Now, walleye fishermen, especially in a tiller boat, rarely ever use this whole section of the boat except for hitting waves and for storage. Is it getting really dark colored or no? Good. We're still doing all right? But one big thing that's happened in the last several years in kind of the walleye fishing world is a lot of guys are using the front of the boat with a live transducer, which is right here, to mount on that trolling motor and hunt fish from the front. So we wanted to be able to do that as well, to kind of show you guys that whole game as well, where you kind of seek and destroy using the Humminbird Mega Live attached to the trolling motor. So we're going to put that part on when we get home. We got a couple of these little odds and ends things to do, like put some TKI mounts on here for our Mega Live poles and things like that. But this boat, absolutely incredible. First thing you notice, obviously how open it is. That's a tiller guy's dream, right? Having a big, wide open console. But in the back of the boat, you got all your graphs. We're powered by a 175 Yamaha SHO, which is plenty of power for this boat. It's gonna let us do everything we wanna do, and a phenomenal motor right here. Now, the other best part about Warrior, they have their own steering system, their own hydraulic system for driving. So although you can put, basically in simple terms, you can drive and control the motor right here, which takes all of the torque, anything like that, completely out of the system. And that's something you really only get with Warrior boats, where you can run these big tillers like this very effectively. On the back, we also have the Minn Advantage. You know, this boat is originally kind of like, it's like the dream back trolling boat, right? Not a lot of us back troll anymore, but having another source of power back here, either for fishing slowly or doing a lot of this like spot on the spot jigging or application stuff, you can control the whole boat right here from the back while you're looking at your graphs and while fishing. That is the tiller advantage. And this is the tiller advantage to like the highest point, right? Because we're in a big glass tiller boat that can allow us to fish big water. Boat positioning is unbelievable in these things. If half the stuff I've heard about them is true. But there's a lot going on back here between accessories. Like I said, we're not going to get into all this today. This amount of storage is unbelievable. You got shelf storing right here to put a lot of your rods that maybe you're fishing with, like right now. Oh, we got to run to the next spot. Throw those 3 slip bobber rods in here. You got more rod storage under here, more rod storage over there. Then obviously you get the big center coffin in the front too, where you could put just an absolute pile of rods. I mean, how deep this thing is incredible. So obviously there's a lot of advantages to running a tiller boat. 1's the storage, 2's the control, 3 is everything's right at the tip of your fingertips at all time. And Warrior obviously makes an incredible one. And if you guys were ever wondering the same thing I was wondering, whereas, you know, what is the best tiller boat that allows you to go places that a lot of these guys in big windshield boats are always fishing and do the same stuff out of a tiller, but still have all those advantages that you have in a tiller boat? This is the boat right here. And over the next 6 to 7, 8 months, we're gonna show you guys exactly that. We're gonna take this thing all across the country, catch a pile of walleyes in it, and show you guys really all the features that makes this boat totally in a class of its own. So I could probably sit in this thing talking until I run out of breath, Mitchell. Mitchell's looking at me right now like I'm already running out of breath, but I could go for a while, because obviously it's an exciting point. But I don't think there's a whole lot to do other than hook up to the truck, get her back home, fill her with fishing gear, and put it to the test. So can't say enough good things so far. My first impression with Warrior Boats and the Boat Center down here in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. I'll link both those guys down below. Everybody at Warrior's been super nice. Everybody at the boat center here has been unbelievable to talk to. Obviously, I had a lot of questions about all this stuff, and they were right there to answer. They know all their stuff, but I don't know if they're getting the forklift out to pull it out of here, or if I'm just gonna pull it right out of here myself. So yeah, unbelievable boat. Let's get her hooked up to the truck, drive back up north, get her in the garage, and maybe you guys can watch us fill it with some fishing stuff and how we're gonna fill all these massive compartments. What do you think? All right, we got her home. We got her in the garage, her final resting place before we hit the road on a whole bunch of crazy walleye fishing adventures. And it looks pretty good in the garage. And I don't know if we ever gave you guys kind of like the full fishing garage tour. Maybe we'll do that here in a second, but absolutely amazed, number one, just by the absolute quality on this thing. And number two, just how much like, you know, when this boat was designed, you know one thing. The fisherman was like at the forefront of designing this thing because it is just set up to fish. And that's exactly, obviously, you know, what really makes these boats just super special. So I'm obviously unbelievably excited. There's way more than I can go through in this video, kind of going into all this different stuff. But over the course of the next half a year, 6 months, we're obviously going to put this boat through the paces on small water, on big river systems, small river systems, and kind of break it down. And obviously you guys will see me fishing out of it every single video. So we'll see what I like about it. We'll see what I love about it. And I'm excited about it. So like I said, the whole reason why this boat was so special in my mind is because my job is to travel the country walleye fishing. We spent so much time previously constantly looking at the weather. Is it too windy to go? Is it, you know, all this kind of stuff. And it's nice to not have to worry about that 10 to 15 mile an hour wind on big water, or that 25, 30, 35 on smaller water. And if you want to stay in a tiller, this boat is obviously the answer. So maybe we'll jump in it. We'll throw some rods in it. We'll throw some baits in it, that kind of stuff. I have seminars that I'm doing tomorrow. And then those are in Minnesota. And then after that, I believe I can go fish. So let's load her up with some stuff. So I have to be out of town tomorrow, unfortunately. But after that, I will literally get home, hook up to this, and go fish somewhere. So let's load it up with some stuff and get her ready for a maiden voyage. So rod storage in this boat, out of this world. There's more rods we can put in here than we'll ever even need at one given time. But spring fishing, obviously, we're fishing a lot of spinning rods, a lot of jig fishing type of stuff. At least that's my favorite way. Granted, you can do some night trolling and things like that, but it's a lot of times dominated by jig fishing. At least that's how I like to fish. And kind of when I built my garage setup, I wanted it for just like this right here, where you basically can reach up and pull down whatever rod you might need. So I got probably 60 rods in the ceiling right here, right? So, you know, obviously we want some jig rods. Grab the jig rods you want, pull it down. Here we have a 6.9 medium, which is kind of a good like heavy swim bait style rod or something like that. And we're just gonna grab a few of these rods and shove them in a rod locker for now. Now the big center rod locker here is obviously where you can put an absolutely enormous amount of rods into. And this fits, I believe, like way up to like 9 footers or something just absolutely ridiculous. And obviously you can just full on load this up with more spinning rods than one man can even use. But one thing I really like is a lot of times, you know, especially walleye fishing, you're going like technique to different technique a lot. So one thing that I absolutely love this feature, this side one will fit 11.5 foot rods. So like, you know, let's say you're going fishing with like jig sticks for the day and you put like 3 jig sticks in there, you know, the rods you know for sure you're going to be using. And look at this. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. We'll just put a few in here. Look at just this absolutely enormous amount of storage. You can't even see those rods. They're just cubbied up way back in there. So like when you get the 4 or 5 rods you're gonna fish with for the day, you're like, all right, I want a couple blade baits on, I want to swim in a plastic, and I want a couple jig and minnow rods. Take them and throw them right in there, and it's super easy just to like have them handy. Plus you got another of the same thing right over here on this side. So absolute mountain of rod storage on top of just rod storage and more rod storage and more rod storage. And me traveling around so much, I like being able to carry a lot of rods with me at one point in time. Got the center coffin, 2 side ones, 2 side ones, mountains of storage space. All right, so generally the next thing you need in a boat is your safety items. And we're gonna put 4 life jackets, a throwable, a paddle, flares, fire extinguisher, and a small first aid kit, all in this one compartment, or at least that's the goal. But hopefully we're gonna show you just how much storage is in these things. I will still probably have room left over, and it will all fit just in this one compartment in the bow. Look at that. There's a pile of room yet to even spare. We'll pull this off of here real quick. All that stuff fits in there. And you could still probably put about 10 tackle trays just in this one compartment in the bow. Pretty crazy. All right, so there's a lot of little boring stuff I gotta pack and just kind of go through to make sure we're all ready to go. I gotta put some rod holders on and all that kind of stuff. But other exciting things to put in the boat. Baits. So we have basically everything I know I'm gonna need in the next week, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, but the 11th one's a massive tray filled with plastics that I fish. So there's one compartment right here, which is, right at your fingertips at all time. And obviously if you're doing most of your fishing back here, a compartment right here for your baits is a pretty good idea. But kind of want to show you just how many different baits this thing will fit. So we'll just start throwing them in there. And we're not even gonna give this a serious, how tight can we stack them deal. Here's some lead. Here's a monstrosity tray full of jigs of all different weights. And we're just haphazardly throwing them in here right now, right? We're not going for how many can we possibly fit. Planer board lights, gonna need those if we do some trolling. Another thing of blade baits. Some more crank baits in case we do some casting. Some terminal tackle, snaps, swivels, 3-ways, things like that. This giant hulking thing of plastics, which I bring with me everywhere I go. It's maybe halfway full. You could easily fit 20 trays in there, no problem. I mean, look at this. Absolutely absurd, the amount of storage available in there. Crazy. And with the tiller, obviously, it's all right at your fingertips the entire time. I'm not really sure what else there is to say. I mean, we could go on and on and on. And then this video would just get boring. It'd just get to be me kind of, being excited about the new rig. But hopefully you guys kind of enjoyed this video. I don't think you guys have seen a lot of the fishing garage. I built this last year. And boat fits in really nicely into one of the stalls. Over here, we kind of got all our stuff hanging on the wall, our quick, easy to grab stuff. It's kind of like the workbench, some more tackle there, some electronics and organization stuff, some more boring stuff up there. But this is kind of where a lot of the magic actually goes down, believe it or not. As far as editing and everything like that, a lot of the Walleye Now stuff, Mitch comes over, we do a lot of editing up here in kind of the upstairs office. So this is kind of where, any days you guys don't see a video posted, this is kind of where I'm hanging out, up here in the upstairs. A couple bucks me and Shelby shot last year in gun season. Little TV to maybe watch, who knows what to pass the time. But this is where most of the editing happens for these videos. So little garage tour, little new boat tour. I appreciate you guys coming with me today. I got a bunch of work late in the night tonight to get basically everything in that boat ready to go. So when I go do a seminar, I'll come back, hook up to it, and away we go. But appreciate you guys watching this video. If you guys have any questions on the Warrior, shoot them down below. We got all season to fish it and see how it goes. But excitement is high right now. So appreciate you guys watching this one. Stay tuned for more content. We'll see you next time. Right there. Fish number 1, baby. You guys knew I had to catch just one out of it. Made this video yesterday and I thought to myself, actually several days ago now, and thought to myself, it's missing something. So, doing a little pre-fishing for another video we're gonna shoot, and figured, hey, might as well put the first walleye catch in the Warrior in the video. It's a nice one. There's a big sauger. That's a walleye. It's a nice walleye. Fishing some kind of heavy current. Well, we're starting it out right in the new boat. Got to get the first one out of the way and just kind of slime that carpet up a little bit to really kind of get the mojo going in the new boat. And there we go, number 1. And it's a good one too. It's definitely the size we're after. Hopefully the first of many, many more to come right there. Fish number 1, new boat. You guys just witnessed it. You guys saw it. There it is. Now we can happily end this video and say, well, the deed has been done, right? It needed at least 1 fish in the boat, and there we go right there, man. Let's let them go. A little bit higher sides than my last boat, but that is going to come in handy when we get her in some big water. Obviously just river fishing right now, but there we go. Now we can end the video. First walleye in the new rig. It feels good. It feels right. It feels like it's mine now, and that we can go on with the rest of the season. So appreciate you guys watching this video. It's kind of obviously a little bit different kind of video than normal, but figured we might as well film the process and my excitement. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content. We're gonna hopefully put a pile more walleyes in the Warrior the rest of the day. So stay tuned for more content. If you guys are not yet, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.